right before your fight started, we had to take a break.
Oh, bro, yeah. It took honestly, that took longer than the fight.
It did.
That took long, yeah.
Did you understand in the moment what was happening?
Bro, no, because in the back, I had mentally prepared myself for it. I'm like, okay, I'm about to go fight.
Right.
So I'm just like, everything's just blocked off. Like, when I walk to that cage, I hear people, but the only people I really hear is my coaches.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, like it's go time. It's ready for war. Boom, we're getting ready, and the ref goes to us like, oh, it's gonna take a couple times. What was it? The ambulance or they're taking somebody out. I'm just like, what's going on, bro? Like, it's getting cold, man. Like, we fought outside. I'm freezing. I'm warmed up. My sweat's all dry. I'm just like, oh man, bro. Like, so my coach threw me his hoodie, trying to stay warm as much as possible. The lights go dim. I'm just trying to like dance or something, trying to get loose back again. It was a mix of emotions for sure.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Esparza, coming to you with another great installment of the Grappling Hour. I hope you're having a great day. We have made a new friend. We have somebody who I just caught one of his fights, and my man here, we'll get to know him more in a second. And just kind of, let me see.
Okay. Yeah, let me turn this backwards for you guys.
For sure need to be turning that backwards, sir. Some of us are relevant this October. Anyway, before we get to know Danny, why don't we talk with you? Why don't we get to know you guys right now and remind you, if you enjoy this show, it would be a great deal of service to me if you check us out at patreon.com/grappling hour. If you go there for just $5 a month, you can see my interviews 30 days before everybody else. And for a few extra bonus dollars, you could see bonus content not available anywhere else, including tape studies with the athletes talking about their matches and their fights with us. So some folks from the UFC, some folks from Bellator or PFL have joined us, as well as some of the notable people in grappling. So check that segment out. You can also see a segment called Roast Raf, where people roast my competition footage. I mean, it's a pretty funny segment. I'm not going to lie. Don't love it myself, but I hear it's great. Then, if you guys also want to check out other bonus content, we ask people little mini-sodes that you can't find anywhere else. So that's at Rafa Esparza. I'm sorry, that is patreon.com/grappling hour. But at rafesparza.com, you can get you some of this Grappling Hour merch, these t-shirts, these hoodies. And my friends, we just had some tank tops. I think you really like those. A lot of you guys are strong AF. You're trying to show off those gains, whether they are steroided or not. We don't judge. Unless you roll against me, then we judge fully. But you could show off those gains, questionable whether they are or are not. So you can get that at rafesparza.com/grappling hour. Additionally, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. If you don't know what you want to comment on, by the end of this video, we will give you a prompt. And last but not least, if you want to continue the conversations that we have here on the show, you can join us on our Discord, and that is at Grappling Hour. Let's get to our guest. We have had a hell of a training session. My man over here just picked up his first MMA win at an organization where I served as a post-match interviewer, and it only took him about 50 seconds to get a submission finish in incredible fashion. And after I saw him, we had a great interview post-match in that cage. I really vibed with him. I saw him afterwards celebrating with his boys. We're going to learn a lot more about him and what makes him tick, as well as what you may be able to see here in the SoCal region, as perhaps you'll be seeing more of him in the fight community. But please welcome one of the winners at RFL 1, Danny Izaguirre II. How are you doing, brother?
Doing amazing, brother. Thank you for the training session earlier today.
Hey, thank you.
Beat me up.
You know what it was? I didn't beat him up as much as we played some games, like jiu-jitsu games.
Yeah, we did.
And, we were coming up with different ways to become better. But I had told you up top, I was like, I know you're going to have some good skill. One, you got a submission finish at RFL.
Mm-hmm.
But additionally, I know some of the homies you're training with, who are some of my homies. It's like getting to see what they've taught you so far and knowing what they're able to teach, it's like, damn, dude, if this is where you're at right now, I can only imagine where you'll be in your journey. So I appreciate you for coming out here late at night. You also came as a weird ass night for us here at the gym. Our boys were learning some valuable lessons. Let's put it that way. I don't want to say too much, but I just thought I was like, bro, you're here on one of our wildest nights. And now I'm going to be like, do you want to roll with me? We're just choking out our boys here. It's all good.
I didn't expect it. I walked in. I'm like, this is what I get myself into, bro. What's going on here? This is what you guys do here?
But what I loved about you is you came in with a lot of humility. All the guys were immediately coming up and greeting you, and you were giving each one of them some time and chatting them up. Yeah. And we have some of the guys who are going to compete. And I love when fighters get a moment to gel with our guys because you have different experience than they may have. So when you get to go inside of a cage, you can provide some insight and some analysis that maybe they're just starting to do. So we appreciate you for even coming in today. So I have to ask this though. You know, you were mentioning you were sore, but then you mentioned it was from lifting. So I was like really proud of what my work was here. And then you were like, nah, man, it came from lifting. And I thought, oh, wow. the haterade it's real, bro. I didn't expect it.
It's from both. It's from both. A lot of leg locks.
A couple.
No, a lot of leg locks.
A couple. Well, hold on. That was partially your fault because you started going for my legs. Did you not?
Yeah, so somebody burnt him out before class started and said that he was a leg locker. So I thought learning leg locks for the first time yesterday, I was able to try him out. I swear, I kid you not. I learned them yesterday for the first time. Yeah, for the first time.
You were grabbing my leg with the kind of, you know, you went with the prison mentality of, I'm going to stab you first, bro. Like, I got to get respect in this jail game. And I saw you grabbing my foot and I was like, what the hell is he going to do with this? And then I started thinking, I was like, all right, I do say one rule to my guys, which I'd like to think is something that I then told you, which is don't footlock a footlocker. Because what's going to end up happening is they're going to counter your game and they're going to be like, please take that. So I wasn't sure if you were taking the bait, but to his credit, he did start using a footlock pass. So you were baiting the footlock to use it as a pass. So if you just started that yesterday, you've already learned a very valuable lesson that takes some time for people to learn. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like in order for me to learn that, I had to get caught in a couple of them, you know? So
it just made me laugh because, yes, one of my idiot kids was like, hey, yo, Coach Lake, he does footlocks. And I go, I don't even know what I'm going to do to him yet. Like, don't tell him that. And I went up to him and just to give him an idea, I was like, so do you want me to go up at your next competition and tell your guy your game plan and what you're used to doing? And he's like, no. And I was like, bro, I'm trying to have a friendly role. He's a guest. We're going to see where he's at. And then I'll make decisions on what I'm going to try and do. And my man couldn't have been nicer as we were rolling. Super respectful. But you do train a little bit. You are a member of the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club. And I don't want to say I'm a founding member. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, I'm in there. Like, if there's the Declaration of Independence somewhere in the back of that photo, I'm there.
You're signed up there for sure.
I'm there, yeah.
One of the OGs.
One of the OGs, because I wasn't there at like day 1, but maybe around day 10, 12, I was around and hanging there. So tell me a little bit about your association. How did you find the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club?
I found the LA JJ Club so first off, I have a homie that was training in Muay Thai. Mm-hmm. His name's Giovanni. Big shout out to my boy Giovanni. But he was teaching a class there, so they ended up doing like a class there. They threw in some Muay Thai classes, ended up taking some classes because before that I was going to UFC gym and I had a couple homies that went there too, right? I'm like, bro, like I usually hit the mids or whatever, like I'm down. So we got a couple rolls in and the guy I was going to UFC gym with, his name was Angel. And he's like, bro, like my homie just doing classes at LAJJ. I'm like, bro, where's this at, bro? LAJJ, LA? I'm going all the way to LA to train? Like, no, you're tripping, bro. I'm not going out there. It's in Camarillo, though. So we go to Camarillo and we do a couple classes, and that's just how I found out about the LAJJ, the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club, right? And then I just started liking to do Muay Thai. And then Eric pushed Jiu-Jitsu on me. I was like, I'm not doing Jiu-Jitsu right now, but I'm cool with just striking. And it's funny now because I do MMA. Mm-hmm. And now I look back, I'm like, damn, I should have just stayed for jiu-jitsu classes.
It's hard, man.
Big regret, bro. It's a big regret.
You're not the only one, I'll be honest with you, because a lot of my goons, the way I like to tell them is I won't sign off on them doing MMA if I don't see them in jiu-jitsu, because as good as they think the striking is going to be, you might run into a Rotolo in one of your first or second fights.
No doubt.
And those guys, even though they're starting to learn striking, they're phenomenal freak athletes that they don't need a ton of striking experience to make you look foolish. And that's just on the striking.
Yeah.
If things go your way and you knock them down, that only puts them into their world. So even though they're like, nah, I'm okay. I go, I can't help but tell you, I run tournaments. I interview tons of guests. I roll with a lot of people. I know what the future looks like. And it is scary because right now, man, I'm trying to beat up these kids. Like right now, I hope you understand. I was just like, yo, I got to put it on this dude because in 5 years, when Eric's done what Eric does, I'm like, bro, he's not going to be as easy to Tom. You know what I mean? Like, this dude's going to be coming out. He's going to remember this day. He's going to be like, remember, Raph, when you were footlocking me? Well, now I footlock people. I'm going to be like, bro, if you do anything to my leg, I can't walk now. I'm too old. Like, I keep thinking, I'm like, when people do footlocks and you start getting around to an older age, all I think about is some people who never do jiu-jitsu have a hard time walking and have a cane. How about the rest of us that right now are like, dude, I do knee bars all the time. I'm like, I'm going to be in a cane by the time I'm 55, bro.
5 years, you're going to be in a cane. 5 years.
It's pretty close, man. But having said all that, you know, when you saw that they had jiu-jitsu, you did not necessarily do something that I haven't seen other people do, but it didn't sound like MMA was in your sights then. So we're going to come back to that.
Okay.
I want to get to know how this fight, for how I got to see you fight. This was your second fight that you had. But like, how did this particular opportunity come up for you?
I think it just came up for me because unfortunately I didn't win my first one. So I was just hungry to fight again. I didn't care who or like what promotion, but luckily like RFL is pretty local. And they hit me up like, yo, we found you a person. I'm just like, bro, sign me up. Like, let's do it. I was just hungry to get that win in my book, you know?
Well, you were mentioning off air, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, but you were saying like you thought you did enough in that first experience to get a win.
Deep down, I think I did do enough to get that win. It was a battle though, don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? It went to scorecards. Mm-hmm. I just think I did enough to get that win. And I don't mean that like in a disrespectful way, but yeah, man, I feel like I should be 2-0, you know? But I mean, it is what it is. Without that fight, I probably wouldn't have got this choke. You know what I mean? Well, I wouldn't have been working on my wrestling and my ground game.
Not only that, but you wouldn't have had the motivation to go back so quickly. Maybe you would have taken more time off in between.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's hard to say because sometimes you get that first win. And I tell people, I'm like, you get spoiled sometimes if you get the result you want right out the gate. So that might make you a little bit lazier. It might make you not as hungry for something. You know, you would have been like, dude, it's the end of the year.
I would have retired already. Honestly.
You're like, bro,
no, I'm playing.
You're like October. You're like, it's almost tamale season. So like, I'm very busy right now. No, man, you got right back in the lab and you had this wonderful opportunity to come up. So it was a great meeting of they're looking to start this organization.
Yeah.
And you're looking to continue building your fight. So, I have something I'm going to bookmark. And people will understand why I asked this question when I ask it. But I just want to know a little bit more. When you said you were working on your wrestling, you were working on a little bit more of your jiu-jitsu, you probably felt like, okay, let me make it undeniable this second time if I go to decision again. So was that the motivation to become an even more well-rounded fighter all around? Or was it just you saying like, I'm just going to get in there and work whatever my coaches tell me to do?
I think it was a little bit of both, honestly. I come from a gym, or my main MMA coach, well, both of them, they're like strictly old school boxing wrestling, you know? Mm-hmm. So of course they taught me everything they know and I'm underneath their belts. So I just wanted to go out there and make them proud. But then I'm learning all this new stuff. I'm just like, if I could win this fight in 2 minutes, do what I could do in 2 minutes. The rounds are short, like 3 2-minute rounds. If I could hold someone down there for like a minute of the round, that round is automatically mine, you know? But I did go in there to the fight with the intention of obviously wanting to get a knockout because that's like my background a little bit. But luckily, right before that fight, the shakeout workout, we did that same exact scenario that how I got that choke in the first round.
Really?
Same scenario. We probably drilled that about like 50 times throughout camp. Easily, maybe more. Because one thing about me before, I was always getting into the position, but I was never keeping that position. I would just always go for submission. And when we drilled that in practice, or like the shakeout rounds right before the fight started, we got that position in, let go of it, pepper him a little bit, and then just sink the choke back in. So it just worked out perfect, honestly.
Let me point this out to people if you haven't seen it. I'm hoping that the fight clip will get some more airtime, because I think they're going to start putting up clips from these fights. Like, the clip is the fight. Like, that's it. Like a full Instagram reel is the amount of time this man needed for that. You had such great reaction time. I wouldn't have guessed that it was new to you or that it felt newer. But hearing you say that you were drilling that, did you feel like one of those MMA fighters when they show, like in the UFC, like Jorge Masvidal, when he was practicing the knee behind the scenes, and then the next day they show that footage of him doing that knockout on Ben Askren with the knee?
Yeah.
Like, did you feel like you had that moment? Because to me, not only does it show a great read from your coaches, but it shows a listening ability and adaptability as a student and a mentee.
That's why I spaced out.
It's okay. I got you. There's a lot to the question, but I just wanted to know, did it feel like you had a UFC moment when they put up that highlight of you working it and back and then actually having it happen in real life?
Oh yeah, honestly, if there was clips of me like during practice, like drilling that, I for sure would have felt like a UFC fighter. Like those, you know how like they record like McGregor hitting like that hit on Aldo, like he was drilling that 10 minutes before the fight started. That's literally like how everything went down.
Wow. That is so cool, because I'm a big visualization guy. So especially for people who haven't been to the dance, it's your second time fighting.
Second time in the cage, yeah.
It's kind of hard to manifest something that you've only been in the cage once for, and that you didn't have the result. You had a decision that didn't go your way. And that then you have to say, like, all right, I'm going to work on my stuff. I'm going to get even better. But now I'm going to visualize this submission finish, even though you credit yourself as more of a striker. So it's a testament to you and your team drilling that so much and putting it so much in your brain that when you saw that opportunity, man, you jumped and you caught that neck in a way that I was legit, like, I was astounded in your fight IQ to open it up, because you could have easily let that guy go flat on the ground and get a knockout or search for it. And in doing so, maybe they build back up because it's early in the fight.
Yeah, we're dry, right?
Exactly. So he could have built his base back up. Maybe his neck's exposed. Maybe he's good at getting out of that. Maybe you want to try and go for a knockout finish because you fancy yourself more as a submission artist, or I'm sorry, a knockout artist. But you going for that submission was me saying, like, damn, what a smart move, and what a great way to go ahead and celebrate early with the homies. So
true. Thank you, though.
Props to you for that. Let's rewind, because I'm going to get to the question.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I have to know what was going on in your head, because I think right before your fight started, we had to take a break.
Oh, bro, yeah. It took honestly, that took longer than the fight.
It did.
That took long, yeah.
Did you understand in the moment what was happening?
Bro, no, because in the back, I had mentally prepared myself for it. I'm like, okay, I'm about to go fight.
Right.
So I'm just like, everything's just blocked off. Like, when I walk to that cage, I hear people, but the only people I really hear is my coaches.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, like it's go time. It's ready for war. Boom, we're getting ready, and the ref goes to us like, oh, it's gonna take a couple times. What was it? The ambulance or they're taking somebody out. I'm just like, what's going on, bro? Like, it's getting cold, man. Like, we fought outside. I'm freezing. I'm warmed up. My sweat's all dry. I'm just like, oh man, bro. Like, so my coach threw me his hoodie, trying to stay warm as much as possible. The lights go dim. I'm just trying to like dance or something and trying to get loose back again. It was a mix of emotions for sure, but
I had so much sympathy for both you and your opponent in that moment. And I understand why they did what they did. It's just there was not a communicated call to let you guys know, maybe don't do the walkout. So when you think the walkout's happening, you think, all right, well, we're going to have our fight now. And then when I saw them holding up, I logically put one and one together. So you might not know what's going on, but a lot of times if you have one ambulance at an event and somebody has to be carted to the hospital, you have to wait for that one ambulance to make a trip and come back. So I know that. Logically, it checks out. It's just, I thought, oh, well, if we're not stopping, then we're good. Somehow that didn't get communicated, and that happens. It's an honest mistake. But my immediate sympathy was to both you and your opponent, thinking like, oh my God. I put myself in your shoes, and I just thought, oh no, I would not be okay. I know that I would be looking at people with death in my eyes. Like, I've weight cut. I was told I could bang bro, and now I can't bang bro. Now it's cold too. And the reason why I knew it was cold, when you said you gestured for something, did the referee in there say like, hey man, maybe you should wear a jacket, like maybe keep yourself warm? Because I thought he was asking if you wanted to stay warm, or if he asked your opponent after you put one on. But I saw you, shorts and all, jacket on, looking like a chola when they're cold. Like, I was just laughing because I go, I mean, I guess that's what you need to do. So was that going on through your head? Did they ask you that, or what happened from there?
I think originally, I don't remember, bro. I was just trying to log back into the fight, if I'm being real.
Yeah.
But originally, if I remember correctly, the ref was like, oh no, you can't throw anything over the cage. Like, we can't put anything on. But I think the commission was just like, oh no, it's okay. So I don't know what had happened, but then it ended up just being both of us could just put a shirt on or a hoodie on and stay warm in the cage. I mean, I'm grateful for that, bro, because if not, I would have been freezing like a skeleton. Like, my jaw was clenching already.
Oh my God. And you're right. It was starting to get cold in that moment to me. And dude, I'm wearing a jacket. I'm in jeans. I got a shirt tie. I'm like, I shouldn't be cold. But I was like, oh yeah, it is kind of, all right, these guys just fighting in their shorts. Like,
my feet were cold. If anything, my feet were cold. Barefoot on the mat. That's what was the coldest, honestly. My feet were cold, bro. Like, I had mat burn on my fat toe. Swear.
And it's the funniest way of describing it. I mean, I hope he's okay. But the opponent before, the reason why he had to be carted is in the middle of his fight, he had like a toe injury. So it was rough. Like, I saw that dude trying to stick out the last part of a round, and his opponent was targeting and just leg kick. And I felt for that dude, but it's like, you ever watch a movie where somebody gets shot, but because it's a movie, you're like, they're fine.
Yeah.
In real life, nobody gets shot and you go, yeah, they're fine. You always think like, damn, bro, you got shot. You get a 50 cent where you're like, how many times were you shot? Like 9? You should be dead. In that particular case, I was like, oh, the toe? Oh, well, I'm sure he's fine. And then I saw, like, dude, I was physically at one point helping him out.
Were you?
Yeah, because two things happen there. And this
he can't walk.
Right? Well, when you're on the top of the stairs, wasn't like a rail to hold on to. It's like makeshift. So when you're able-bodied, it's not a problem. You just like do 1, 2. People like usually do like a dance, or they get into their zone. They like do like a spider crawl, and they're at the bottom and they wait for their moment. And then they jump in the cage. That's what happens when you have all your toes and fingers working fine. If you're at the top of the cage and you have to get down, there's no railway, and you can't fit out at the same time somebody else can. I was starting to do the logic where I just kind of offered my shoulder and I was like trying to help him out. And then I felt somebody like touch the back of my back, and I was like, do you not want me to do this? Like, I'm sorry. And it was his dad. His dad came up and he's like, that's my boy. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, sir. I hope he's okay. And like, that's when this shit gets really real to me, when you meet family.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm just like, sir, I hope he's okay. You know, I tried, I don't even know if I said the right words, but I tried saying like, we wish him a speedy recovery. He looked okay, but you knew
he was hurting.
He was hurt.
Yeah, for sure. Especially your toe, or like it was his ankle or his toe.
I think it was toe.
Even worse.
Yeah. Well, you can't have base. So you're literally just you're trying to like build off the rest of the toes, but you can't, you're already feeling the pain.
Yeah.
So I just knew, I was like, if he's even going to step down from a step, you're going to feel it the whole time. There's no grip. So I just offered it, had him off to the people after that, got in the cage, but that made it very real to me. I don't know why my brain logically just was like, he's fine and let's move on. So when they said like, hey, we need to stop right now, as you both were in the cage, I go, oh, right. Yep. That checks out. Humans need care. That dude should probably be taken care of. I just thought an unfortunate moment for you, but it didn't alter shit. In fact, if anything, you then are able to finish in time that rebuilt the time we lost. And the weird part is, how long do you think that little moment took in your brain?
Like 5 minutes, maybe.
Good. I'm glad you're there, because I was wondering if it was like a slow time where you didn't know how long it actually went.
Yeah.
It was legitimately 5 minutes. I was worried it was going to be like 10, 15. And so I was so pleased when after 5 minutes they go, they're back. And I said, dude, I have done an event where I was on commentary and there was a bad injury. We had to take like an hour-long intermission.
Wow, really?
So could you imagine you go to that cage and they're like, hold up. They wait 10 minutes. Then they go, you know what? Go back. That's what I was most worried about. So when it was only 5 minutes, I thought, okay, not the end of the world. But I did have a slight pause for you because I was like, I'm rooting for these guys to have a good fight. And then you did. And then you had a great moment. So it was all the more worth it. But did you delete that memory? Because to me, if I was having that experience, having come in, not getting the result I wanted the first time, having a dialed in focus, already doing your shakeout, wanting to stay warm, how did you stay mentally okay in that moment?
I was honestly just talking to my coaches and they were just telling me like, I mean, pretty much to summarize it, like you train for this, right? And a conversation I had with my coach be like at the shakeout was just like, people see like what 3 minute rounds. So they see 6 minutes of you fighting, right?
Yep.
But they don't see like what gets put in to the fight, like behind closed doors, you know? So that's just something that was repeating back in my head, like just that conversation with me and my coaches. And like, I feel like if I'm already there, like nothing's gonna stop me now. Like I gotta do what I have to do. He's gonna do what he has to do. Like we're going out there to kill each other, you know? We're out there for the same reason.
So because you had to earn it like twice over in your head, what did that win feel like for you at that day and in that moment?
Honestly, as soon as that situation had happened, it just left my memory. As soon as the first bell rang, I was like, okay, we're fighting. Like, I just have to fight. Obviously, the win felt great because I was just super hungry for it. I trained super hard for this fight. And I just think like my confidence going into the fight just felt even way better. So I felt super confident I was going to that fight regardless. And going backstage and seeing like all my friends there waiting for me, like, it was like the best feeling ever, you know? And it's like, I told myself after the last one, even though I felt like I won, I still lost, you know? But I wouldn't consider it losing. I would consider it like learning. I learned from that fight and I just told myself I never want to feel that again. I never want to feel that, like that feeling of losing. I always want to win. I want to win now. Like I'm hungry. It was the best feeling ever, man. You know, going out there, the first person, I went to the crowd, I see my homie, I dap him up, I give him a handshake. I'm like, where's my dad at? That was the person I was looking for. I'm like, where's my dad? I know he's here somewhere. And like, he was right there, standing right next to me. So I give him the biggest hug. Cool, man. I fucking love my dad. That was like the first person I really could say that was super excited for me.
What did your dad tell you?
Good shit. But no, trip out. My dad used to train.
No.
So when I was a kid, I would go to like expos. He would like compete jiu-jitsu. And long story short, my dad worked at a paint shop, right? And his manager would like coach him in the warehouse. So he would come home late and sweaty. I'm like, man, where's this fool at? Like, where's my pops at, bro? Like, I'm hungry. Like, leave some food. And then he'd come back sweaty. And then I just knew he was training like in the warehouse. And then all his coworkers would train too. And they would just like spar in the warehouse and just train. So like, which was pretty cool though, because of seeing that growing up, I'm just like, damn, like my dad, like really, he likes doing this, you know?
Yeah.
He tried getting me into it as a kid. I was just like, I don't want to.
So your dad did not take the following opportunity to be like, I told you should have been doing jiu-jitsu just day one, fam.
He rubs it in my face now. He throws it in my face. Like, we'll have a normal conversation. He was like, bet you wrestled in high school, didn't you? I'm like, yeah, bro. Like fuck you. Yeah, I do, bro.
Okay. Have you rolled with your dad?
Not recently. He tore his ACL.
Oh no.
So a couple years ago, yeah, he tore his ACL. He tore it the first time.
Wait. Sorry. Nope. Go back.
I got him in a heel hook. No, I'm playing.
I was like, bro, I don't think you got him in a heel hook. I'm gonna make a grand statement here. Plus, I don't think seniors going out like that. But sir, what happened?
Okay, the first time he tore it was he was training at the dojo. Okay. And someone fell on his knee. So it tore. I don't remember if you got surgery or not, but a couple years go by, we go to Lake Casitas. I was like, that's the main reason. So we're at Lake Casitas playing basketball. Okay. And that's the main reason I didn't wrestle in high school. Because I thought I was like a D1 basketball player, like, you know, short Mexican kid. I was like, oh, wait, I'm going D1 playing college, whatever, right? Yeah, I swear, bro. I thought I was so good, right? But we're playing basketball. He goes up for a layup, and I try blocking him. I'm thinking I'm like the best hooper at the time. I think I'm blocking him, but I ended up just turning it again. And it was just...
Wow.
Yeah. Not even from training. Damn,
can I tell you something?
That's messed up.
Candidly, I avoid other sports. That's karma coming back to you, fam.
Crap. All right, well,
you know what it is? That's the ghost of your dad who's not gone, but just trying to be like, I heard that, son.
I hear you.
I hear you. I avoid other sports because it might take me away from this. 100%. So I legitimately, dude, I remember once one of my friends as like a gimmick birthday, they said, hey, we're going to go to the roller rink. Do you skate? And I go, fuck no. Because if anything happens to me, I'm not training on Monday. And I guarantee you don't want to be around me if I'm not training in some capacity. Yeah. Like even if I get like baby injuries here, I've never, knock on wood, had a major injury, but I'm always thinking like, dude, that takes you out of the game. So this is the second ACL injury for your pops.
Yeah, fortunately.
Okay. So now, as the second, the namesake, there's a lot more pressure on you. There's a lot.
I got to do it for him now.
You got it, bro. You got to nut up and make sure that you're going to jiu-jitsu classes because I didn't know you had that kind of pressure on you. I would have put it way more on you. Excuse me, senior. Talking directly to you now at this point. If I had known this information, I would have been so much harder on him in the role. I would have 100% been like, yo, your dad wouldn't have tapped to that. Yo, your dad would have said that you need to dogfight out of that position. So I think as somebody whose dad didn't do that, that is such a cool thing because so many people have to explain to their parents the insanity of I want to fight or I want to be in martial arts. But for you have a dad that there was no shorthand. He was almost guiding you to it without forcing you to do it. And so I think that's kind of like the best kind of support system you can have, which is, hey man, if you want to go and do it, that's your journey. But just know I'm not like a regular parent that doesn't know shit. I know my stuff. I've trained. Yeah. And it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, when you say sparring and you say training in a warehouse, sounds like those were some jiu-jitsu rounds that may have had some strikes and some slaps in them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like his manager at the time would hold like mitts for him. He liked Muay Thai. So he was doing a lot of Muay Thai.
Okay.
Muay Thai and jiu-jitsu, that was like his thing. He liked training.
It's so wild to me that it took this long for it to seep into you. So let's get into that. What did you start playing? You mentioned basketball, but was that like the first sport that you were playing? Because I mean, you seem like a pretty athletic dude. So where does sports find its way? And then we'll get into like the martial arts aspect.
I, I mean, they've always kept me busy. You know, as a kid, I was just running around like doing a bunch of breaking stuff, like just clumsy. You know, clumsy kids. So they put me in a lot of sports. Honestly, I think they put me in baseball, like little league. I was playing soccer. What else did I do? I played basketball. I started playing basketball like fourth, fifth grade, maybe. Fifth grade. I'll say fifth grade.
Okay.
Fifth grade. I played all throughout high school. And I mean, I pretty much just staying active, you know. I grew up kind of with some cousins, so
okay,
staying active, and then they'll beat me up, and they'll beat me up, put me in headlocks. So it kind of like made me be tough in a way,
sure.
But like we're always just like moving around, doing something. We're
just
never
being active and fun.
Yeah, I mean,
it's horsing around.
Yeah, growing up being a boy, you know what I mean? Like, no doubt.
Yeah, I would say my cousins weren't. You know, it was weird. I had this thing where I was playing sports, but none of my cousins picked on me. So like my tios on my mom's side were all huge boxing fans. And for whatever reason, it just wasn't sticking. Like they took me to a De La Hoya fight and I loved it. I loved seeing it. I loved the spectacle of it. So I could relate to them in that way. And I could see that's their passion. I love you, tios. But even as a kid, I was like, I don't think they know exactly the sweet science of this. Like something just, I don't know what it was. Maybe I was a smart ass kid. Maybe I was too smart for my own good. But I was like, they sound like dudes at a bar talking about fights. So I don't know what it was. And I'd stand by that. I know they love science and they're like historians of boxing.
Yeah.
But I saw that my cousin was boxing with his father. And I thought that was such a good bonding thing for them. My dad just put me in sports. And the way I would digest it was I was a huge pro wrestling fan. So I didn't know at the time I was absorbing jiu-jitsu in pro wrestling. Because a lot of the stuff when I'm doing it and I'm rolling with people, like I understand transitions because I could see like my favorites were technicians like Kurt Angle, Bret Hart, Dean Malenko, all those guys who were very smaller and technical. I could see their science. And so lo and behold, when they're like, hey, do this, I go, oh, I saw Macho Man do like an inversion. Oh, that's what that's called. So my dumb brain put it together like that. So that's how I got involved with it. So at what point, especially given the fact that your dad was already in this world, did you say, I think I'm kind of into that striking thing? Or where does martial arts find its way into your life?
I mean, like I said, he tried to put me in the wrestling and I just wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying it in high school. He asked me all 4 years in high school, quit basketball, wrestle. Quit basketball, wrestle. I'm like, bro, I'm not wearing the singlet, bro. Like,
you don't like the singlet?
I'm not wearing the singlet, bro. Like, no, I'm not doing that. But again, like, I still thought I was like a good basketball player, you know? So that wasn't processed through my head.
Was that just an excuse at that point, you think?
I don't know. I don't know exactly what. I just don't think like, I don't know, bro. Like, honestly.
Well, you're at an age where they were starting to let you do like a rash guard and shorts if you wanted to do wrestling. So you didn't miss. Yeah, you were about that age where they started saying like, hey, we're going to let kids choose. And there was a big debate over old school people who were like, no, you wear a singlet. That's what you do in wrestling. Yeah. And there are other people who were like, I just don't like it. So it kind of went both ways. I think there are people who do agree with you, but the traditionalists are very much like protective of it.
Yeah. I mean, now looking at it now, like, mine wearing it, you know? I think it was just like at my age, you know? It was at my age just thinking of it.
I have to be honest with you. I thought it just looked silly as a kid. But again, pro wrestling was like, well, they wear weird costumes.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Now you look at like college wrestlers, they're freaking like ripped, you know? I'm like, damn, bro, like that could have been me in high school. But knowing damn well I wouldn't have been.
That's the other thing is I'm like, you know, sometimes I see how people wear like cut off sleeves or like really specific types of shirts, like a heavy shirt that has a certain thing. I'm like, dude, they're just trying to show off their arms are really stacked. Yeah, right, so I'm like, all right, I can't hate on that. And, you know, you can buy a Grappling Hour t-shirt, but you can also grab a Grappling Hour tank.
Tank top,
just saying, bro. I'm just saying, bro, show off them gains. But like for me, I thought the singlet was silly, but I will tell you this. We did have a sponsor that at one point was more wrestling based, but was trying to do more jiu-jitsu stuff. And they said, take a look at our inventory and tell us if you like anything. and they had an America singlet that looked like it was from an Iowa truck stop. And I was like, I don't even wrestle like that, but I need that. And they sent it to me. Craig Jones saw it and he was like, I need one of those. And I was like, brother, I will get you one. Like, not a problem. But it was so like, it's a reversal from me being a kid, probably thinking like you, like, who's going to wear that?
Yeah.
To now me being like, dude, I'd wear the shit out of that.
Oh, I would have worn it today if I had one, bro. Like, kidding me?
Well, also, let's say this though. Coaches, wrestling's not bad. My man, he showed some good stuff on that. I was pretty pleased on that, man. So
worked on it. Try to.
It wasn't better. Like, not today, but like I think in the future he might get me, but like we're not gonna let him win. You know what I mean?
When he's 55.
Bro. I'm still gonna pin the shit out of you when I'm 55. You know what the worst part is? I'm gonna still keep getting you just for your pops. Cause now I have more motivation. Now I'm like, bro, I gotta do this for seniors ACL. Like the next time if I get a heel hook on you, I'm gonna be like, this is for senior. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to this, which is that's your first experiences there with kind of being in that world of wrestling, rejecting it initially. But you were telling me off air that you were also doing powerlifting. But like, bro, your frame is about $150 right now. But you told me you hit 205 as a powerlifter. What
I was pretty chunky though.
Was it chunky or was it just like muscle?
I think it was like mass, you know, like not dense muscle, but like just muscle filled with a bunch of water.
Okay.
So like a little more on the chubby side. I have more body fat percentage.
Okay. I mean, sure, but you also are lifting heavier things. So it probably secured your body a little bit to have that extra weight. What was your like highest bench? Like what were your PRs that you had when you were in that era? Because to me, I will never have that era.
Yeah. I didn't like lift with like kilos or anything. I lifted with like regular like 45. So I probably my max, what is it? Quick math. You're smarter than me.
Okay.
2 45s and 35s. What is that?
2 45s and 35s.
Yeah.
So that's 90
on each side. No.
2 45s is 90. And
my
then
bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four 40 on each side. Yeah.
4 on each side. So I'm so sorry.
2 on each side. 2 on each side.
4 45s.
Yeah, 4 45s total.
So it's gonna be 180 plus the bar.
The bar's 45.
So 225,
and then 35 on top.
And then 235.
So
it's almost like 305, bro.
Damn near, yeah. I was squatting 4 plates on a 35.
Okay.
Well, total 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 45s.
Oh, Jesus,
yeah, I was squatting a lot, but I was a little meathead.
Bro. Were you more aggressive during this era? Like when you say you're a little bit of a meathead, how would you define being a little bit more of a meathead than you are currently?
Well, my bad. I want to say meathead. I was more like a gym bro, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, dudes go live. I tell the homies like, take a Zen, let's go live. You know, just shotgun a damn energy drink in the parking lot.
So when you're saying this, how far off from this period, like right now, how far ago was that back?
From since I started training?
No, when you were doing those heavy power lifts from right now. Was that like 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
I was probably like 20. It's like 3 years ago.
So 3 years ago. So this transformation then happens, I'm sure, once you go more into MMA. So we'll get into that in a second. But let's now transition to asking, do you remember your first jiu-jitsu class?
Yeah, I got choked out. That's all I remember. I think my first jiu-jitsu class was at Eric's.
Okay.
Well, because the thing is, I started jiu-jitsu when I was like super young too.
Right.
So I did a couple like classes like once a week.
Okay.
I just stopped. Play basketball.
Okay.
But my first like being like a grown adult was at, I would say, Eric's class. Yeah.
At Eric's. Okay. What was your impression? Because just so everybody knows, Eric Medina is a longtime homie of mine. So the fact that this dude ended up at a gym owned by one of my good friends and somebody who I think is like, how do I say this? In the world of jiu-jitsu, there's like good people who are good at jiu-jitsu and there's like good people. Eric is both. Eric is a good human being, donates so much of his time to like wrestling programs and trying to be a good example for the youth. like an upstanding citizen, former military, like just a really good kid. And Medina and I have always been friends, and I think the world of him, but he's also like this quiet Jedi that's almost unassuming. Like he's the type of dude who's like wearing like the perfect wrestling coach track jacket. And it's just kind of like, oh, hey, what's going on, everybody? Oh, I hope everybody's having a good day. And then like the minute he takes the track jacket off, like definition, dude's in shape. And I go, who's this nerd? So what was your first impression of Medina when you first met him?
I honestly don't remember that. Like I don't think I really had a first impression. I was just like, okay, he's the coach. Like he's good, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm just going.
Do you remember your first roll with him? Did you roll with him that day or did that happen later? Because sometimes you don't necessarily roll with the coach on that day when you first show up.
Yeah, I think it happened a little bit later because at the time we were doing like the Muay Thai classes there. And then one day we just stuck, I think he came into a class and it turned into MMA. And that's when I really felt his rolls, and I was like, "Oh damn, I want to stand back up."
Yeah, for sure. There was a moment I think when Medina was almost going to do like combat jiu-jitsu, and I just thought I was like, "He's too nice. He's like a nice competitor,
yeah,
but he's so nice because he can fuck you up that well." So it's like that's somebody who's so in their world, and I think he is one of those heir apparents of that John Jock style, like. Legitimately one of the younger guys who's now turned into an OG. Sorry, Eric, you are. But he's an unk status that's like a badass. And, you know, I think the world of him, even though he's younger, I still look up to a lot of his jiu-jitsu. So I consider him a great training partner. And even though I don't see him every day, when we run into each other, it's just literally like, bro, how's the gym? How are you doing? And then literally as we're finishing a conversation, it always ends like this. Well, you got to come. So make sure you're going to come to the Jiu-Jitsu club. You owe me a visit. Hey, you better come though, right? And I'm like, bro, you're far. Like, I don't know how to tell you this. I got a gig here. I'm doing this. And it's like, coming here is hard enough. Coming like another 30 minutes to that gym is like, bro, I have to be dedicated. But I think one of the last times we rolled, it was, again, pure, beautiful Jedi technique. So love to see that you got paired up with him. So here's the question we ask everybody. Okay. When did you fall in love with jiu-jitsu? Because in order to be a mixed martial artist, you have to truly fall in love with it in some way that makes it more than just a hobby, because now you're fighting. So when did you actually fall in love with either jiu-jitsu or martial arts? Let's put it that way.
Jiu-jitsu, I hated jiu-jitsu. Just because my dad would beat me up. He would choke me out, and then I would try to like scramble, and I'm just so small. He would just, you know, the rear naked choke me, I'm done. But martial arts, I've always loved it. I've always loved watching it. I've always loved like the intensity of it. Just like people, like two completely different people, like outside of fighting, and then like when you're actually fighting, you know? Yeah. And I just always like really loved that. I've seen two different personalities of a person. So I would say I fell in love with like martial arts, like viewing it as a kid, just because we were watching it or whatnot. But like training it, like, so I was powerlifting 3 years ago. I'll say I took a year off of that and I started training. So like 2 years ago, roughly. 2 years, yeah. That's when I was just like, okay, like I really like this. Like this is pretty cool. Like got abs now, you know? Like, sick, I got abs. Jiu-jitsu, I fell in love with it. Oh man. So I got hit up in June for my first fight. And then they hit me up, they're like, hey, you wanna fight? I'm like, damn bro, like I don't wrestle, I don't do jiu-jitsu. Like why? Like I'm doing MMA. Like I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm down. But luckily I had met my coach at the time, my coach now, Bobby, at Ventura Fight Fitness. We met there and he thought I was a wrestler. That was just by like watching like fights, you know? And he was like, oh, your fight could be, I mean, your wrestling could be good. Let's work on it. And then we just worked on it. Worked on it.
Like I'm saying, bro, I'm not lying to you. I think you, for where you are and the amount of time you put into it, your wrestling is in a very good place. It's a good foundation for MMA. And that's hard to teach people because sometimes jiu-jitsu people just stay so much in their world that when you add striking, it just looks a little odd. And when they get it, you're like, dude, it's a unicorn, because you go, oh my God, that's the pressure you need. That's the kind of style you need. That's the scrambles you need. And, you know, one of the things that happens in jiu-jitsu, especially like my style, it's like what I tell people, I'm like, if you're fighting, don't fight like I roll, for sure. Like, be different. But I tell them, I'm like, just know part of what I'm doing is I'm studying, I'm observing, I'm trying to make notes on how to like maximize that. But that's how a lot of good MMA guys beat jiu-jitsu guys is. They just act first, they act aggressively, and as they learn, they start making notes what works for their game. So for you, having that good foundation, whether you know it or not, it might have been that your dad kind of seeped in and gave you good lessons that you didn't know you needed until you wanted to fight.
Exactly.
So it begs the question, what made you want to fight? Like, what was deep inside of you when you signed up for your first fight that made you say like, all right, I got to do this because why?
Just being surrounded like by my friends, dude. I mean, well, the people I train with, because they were fighting. My homie's like been super active in fighting. He does Muay Thai. He's been active like every like other month. He's like scrapping. And just like, bro, like if you could do it, like, why not can I, you know?
Yeah.
I just need to lose a couple more pounds and I could do it. But like just being motivated around the people. Like I honestly took the fight in June because I found the gym that I'm at now. And he like Bobby motivated me a lot. Like, hey bro, like you could be really good. Like you could be really good. I'm just like, bro, like I could be really good then, you know? Like if he's telling me that, like he's not saying it to like lie, you know? Like he's actually telling me that I could be pretty good. So I'm just like, let me prove to myself that I could like fight. And then I ended up just falling in love with it. Like right after that first one, I'm just like, bro, like I want to be active. I want to fight as much as possible. Like next year, I want to have at least like 6 fights, maybe 5-6 fights.
Okay.
I want to be pretty active, honestly.
Okay.
Like I just want to get the experience of like traveling, going out there, fighting at my weight class. Maybe a day before, go a little bit smaller, like 135 maybe. I just want the experience, man, you know, like, and being able to tell myself that I didn't see myself fighting ever, like growing up, right? And like it's just a dope feeling now that I'm an adult, and I'm just like, yeah, bro, like I've never seen myself doing that. Like I'm ready for this.
Did you like who you were at the end of that fight? Because a lot of people don't do this, so they never get to experience that version of themselves. But like that moment, you get this win, you're in the cage, you have all this history with it, your family is deeply embedded with it. A first win eluded you when you thought you did enough. You get this win, you got this great team that now believes in you, and a big motivator was you saying, I'm going to prove it to myself. So what were you feeling in that moment when you did have that? Because it has to be a rush of emotions of all of that synthesizing all in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, I went out there pretty confident. So I was pretty confident I was going to take that win. I think my last fight, I didn't have that confidence that I needed. And I feel like I think a big factor of fighting is like 80% of the time is just if you have that confidence to win that fight. If you go in that fight knowing you're going to lose, you're already lost, bro.
Yeah.
You're already lost. But honestly, it was like a super great feeling knowing that people were there to like watch me. So like, I'm just truly blessed that everybody was there. And I definitely felt the love. I definitely felt the love. Especially after too. We went to Danny's go eat.
Is that what the celebration dinner was?
Danny's, bro.
What was the order at Danny's?
I don't even remember. I ate whatever I got, and then I was eating other people's food.
Brother.
Had to, man.
Oh my God.
But you see, I was skinny. I looked like a bobblehead, bro. I was skinny.
You did look fairly skinny.
Yeah, I was skinny.
But you still look skinny now. You're not like deathly skeleton skinny. No, brother, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're skinny-ish, you know? You got a nice frame, so you're learning how to play more with it now as a martial artist and a fighter.
For sure.
So it's a definite different life than you thinking you were chubby when you were growing up than to when you were a power lifter and you needed that bulk, that size to hit certain PRs and to really push yourself. And now you're in a phase where it's like, okay, you need to be constantly at a certain kind of weight, and then you're going to fluctuate down so that you're not unhealthy. But like you where you are right now, you could do 145 tomorrow. I'm confident. 135, maybe a few more days, but it's not in an unhealthy way. So I do like that for you. But I think that's pretty good. I do have a few miscellaneous questions here because I was doing my research on you, and it seems like you are deeply infused with a love of fashion. And to me, I find this so fascinating because I wondered if fashion for you is like a creative outlet. And I wonder for you, it's not something that I immediately read as you were fighting. But as I was looking at your page, it's embedded. And then you have like a brand unto itself. So I wondered, how did that manifest? And why do you feel the need to have that sort of an outlet for you?
Honestly, I like that question. I like that question a lot. I grew up not always going to like nice stores, right? I mean, I had like the option like, oh, we could go here, buy one shirt, or we could go to the thrift store and buy like 10, you know? Or like vice versa. Not vice versa, but like you get 3 shirts here, you get like 10 at the thrift. So me and my mom would just always go to the thrift store. And then I would just find like cool pieces and like, oh, like they have this over there for $50. I found it here for $5. You kidding me? So I've always been like kind of like around that. Like how you said, it's a creative outlet for me. Like putting pieces together or just like finding new pieces, like wear with certain things. Like, you know, Cheeto Vera?
Yeah.
I think his style is sick, you know? Like he has his own little style that he got going on.
For sure.
He's sick. And then like some other people that, I can't say like fighters, but like some, like I have like these other people like on my Instagram that like dress pretty cool. I kind of take influence from that. So it is for sure like a creative outlet for me, especially because I sell vintage too. So I've been around that. I've been around that for like, I was like probably like a sophomore in high school when I started reselling vintage. And it's just dope, bro. Like just being yourself. Like I feel like that's just my way of expressing who I am and like what I like to do. Just put it on.
I love that because it shows a side of your confidence that you have. So like, I don't think of myself as fashionable at all. I have 2 modes. I'm either in bum coach mode or I'm in a suit.
You're in a rash guard.
I mean, bro, I'm in a suit because I like being a presentation. Like me being in the cage with like a half jacket and a suit and tie. I sometimes think like, dude, if I was in a full suit, I'd probably be more comfortable, but I don't want to overdress when I'm talking to dudes with no shirt on. You know, like it's just basically like I'm in a full suit for an organization where not everybody's suited up like that. So like I find my happy medium of like, I'm going to dress the part and I don't mind looking a little out of place when everybody's like a fight fan. But I figure like if I'm in the cage, I want to respect you guys.
Yeah.
I want to like give a professional presentation. But when I was looking through your stuff and I saw the thrift that you had, one, I didn't know that this dates all the way back to high school. So you had an entrepreneurial spirit even then. But what stuck out to me when I was going through like the way that you were photographing it is like, it is very much you have an eye for certain types of styles and like pop culture and an infusion of your interpretation of what pop culture is or things that just kind of interest you. And what I love about your site is you just put it on display and you go, here, that's it. That's what I like. And the confidence that is in that for me, a person who's not super fashionable in that way is like, damn, that's his personality. Like that to me is you showing who you are as a person and me being like, that's kind of dope that you find like some random ass shit that's like a mix of this red shirt of Spike Lee from his early 80s or his late 80s era. And I'm thinking like, that's such a particular eye that if you're going through a thrift store, it might blend in, but to you, it sticks out.
Sure.
And then obviously like you got the pro wrestling stuff speaks to me. Totally understand that. But then there's like a modern thing that's come in more in modern fashion with like Eric Clapton with his head and just the branding on that. That's like a 80s vintage t-shirt you would get going to his concerts. And I just think like all of that makes sense on your page just because it's you saying like, yo, I fuck with this.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like everything that you find at the thrift store has its own meaning or like character of it.
It's just, it was something that as I said, like, hey, let's do the interview and you were down. I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to go through. I'm going to see what he's into in that. And then I just got caught up looking at the different pages. And I was just like, okay, cool. So when you did that, are you making like certain kind of jeans, like altering them and doing that? Because to me, I was like, yo, that's so unique. And I can tell you, I've interviewed other fashion forward fighters and they're like, dude, I'm just interested in it. And there is kind of a connecting thread, but none of them have designed their own jeans or like said like, yo, I'm just going to make this. And that's just who I am. So I thought that was unique. How did you go about starting to do that?
My grandma taught me how to sew.
No way.
I feel like everything that like plays out in my life right now is because what had happened, like not what had happened. I shouldn't word like that. Damn, that's crazy. Oh, trauma dumping.
Hold on. Let me be very clear to you guys. I like to think that I am good with my words. I'm pretty good. I have Grammarly. Okay.
I need to get that.
But even though I'm a writer at my core, Grammarly will sometimes send me a note that's like, excuse me, Raf, what ghetto language is this? And I'm like, oh, did I really write what had happened? Like, is what had happened. Like, shut up. And what I do is sometimes I do talk to text on things. So like if I'm writing, sometimes I'm in a car and I'm like, I got it. I know what I want to write today. And I'm transcribing it. That transcription will make me look like an idiot if I ever released it. Just if I ever let it out, it's just me throwing prepositions all over the place. So you don't have to apologize for that. You're punching people and submitting people for a living now. No one gives a fuck if you're like, see, what had happened was, I'm like, it's a regular thing people say. So you could stop that. But as you were saying, a lot of what you have found in your life is based off of stuff that your family has set you up with. Exactly. So how did that happen with your grandma, where she was like, it's one thing to teach someone how to sew. It's another than take that to another level.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty much just taught me how to sew. Honestly, well, she made me the steps because she would always crochet and then hand sew, and then she has a sewing machine. One day she's in her room, I go in there, I'm like, damn, this looks sick, you know? Like, you're making my sister a Halloween costume? Like, first of all, where's my costume? Second of all, like, I want to learn how to do this, right? So she ended up buying me one for like Christmas, a couple years ago. She ended up buying me one for Christmas. And then after that, I kind of just collided the both of like vintage. I would get vintage Levi's and then just kind of like make my own patchwork patterns or just I would say like most of the stuff I make is pretty much patchwork or like custom designs, like commission based. I like doing like flannels too, not so much hoodies, but like pants is like we just pay like pretty much just where it's at. Like it's like a big staple that you wear. Like you could just plain up top, plain up bottom, but if you have those pants on, like that's the outfit, you know?
Yeah. So are you wearing these, or is this just something that you're commissioned to sell? Like, to me, you have the ability to pull that stuff off. I do not. Like, I'm such a straight-laced person with my fashion. I know it kind of upscales me, but like, I feel like I would give away too much. Like, this isn't me. But you have a good confidence. I've seen, I was giving you shit because I was like, oh, what? You a model now? When you put up a couple of your photos. But I'm like, you have a good attitude that seems to like say like, nah, fuck it. I'm wearing this and that looks good. So are you wearing some of these commissions as well?
Oh, bro, for sure. If they're my size, like I'll get like 1 or 2 wears in before I ship them out. You know? I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I mean, they're vintage anyways, bro. Like they've been worn, you know?
Exactly.
But yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, I make stuff for myself and I ended up making some for myself. I just don't see myself wearing them anymore, and then I'll just sell them.
Yeah.
Boom. I've actually made some gi pants. I've sewn on some gi pants. So one of the homies that I train with in Ventura, he does jiu-jitsu, right? His name's Pat, and he's an artist. He's a crazy artist, bro. Like, he used to go into his studio and he has pretty good dope artwork. He has these gi pants. He gives me some. He's like, hey, bro, like, so the whoop, do me a pair. I make him a pair, he paints on them, and he ends up selling them. He wore them for like a good amount of times, but he ended up selling them. And honestly, that's dope, bro. Like, being able to like make stuff for like the street and like people who are into that stuff. But now I'm putting him in like gi pants that people could wear like while they're like, I mean, I don't know if they would be training them just because it might rub on people or like hurt other people. But like, I know people who wear gi pants like just going to the grocery store, just hanging out, you know? Like, So I mean, I think it's pretty cool that the best of both worlds are kind of colliding.
Bro, you should be acting on that a lot more, because I think just based off of what I've seen for what you have put out there already, there was one set of white pants that I thought were gay pants. And I was like, yo, those are still jeans, but they looked like a very individualistic, somebody came to the gym, that's their style.
Yeah.
And bro, I mean, I don't know if you know this, but some of the shit that you're picking right now is very much in fashion. So it's like, it is the rage. My wife told me we were selling merch for, I run this organization called Subversive. So I'm their executive producer. It's jiu-jitsu and combat jiu-jitsu. And she saw the merch and she goes, that's nice. Wear the crop tops. And I was like, babe, I just need shirts. I'm just starting to get some of the merch. And she's like, that's cool, but crop tops are in right now. And I was like, I know that. Let me just get merch first. And then sure as shit, somebody came up, and right as I was checking in with her, I was like, hey, is everything going well? She's like, great. Somebody comes over, like, do you have these in a crop top? And I was like, not a word. Don't. No.
Little light ring.
Yeah, but I'm looking at her. I'm like, it's not because I don't want to do it. It's just I got to go in order of operations. Like you have to sell merch, make some money, then you get to do the fun other stuff because they're more expensive to make those things. And like, as somebody who's just started selling merch, like I never thought I'd be selling merch, but what I found was, and maybe you kind of find this too, a lot of what you have is people wanting to express, I support you. And
100%.
To me, I like never crossed my mind to sell shirts. Don't want to do it. Don't want to be a fulfiller. But I also don't want to put it on a drop ship where they fulfill something that's not quite as good quality, because I've got a homie who takes care of me. He's done the merch for this gym, one of my good other friends' gyms, a lot of reputable people, and we love the quality, all of us. And I just like giving them business. And that means I got to then do the shipping. And then here I am being like, how many? Shut up. No, just come to the gym. I'll drop it to you there. But when people are like, they'll hit me up and they'll be like zelling. They're like, hey man, I'm going to buy this. I was like, no, do an order like a real person.
Yeah.
Like if you're just, I can't remember people texting me. I got too many people texting me on my shit. Like I need the professional thing. At the very least, text me on my messenger and not on Instagram, because it's going to get lost with me being like, hey, come do an interview. Hey, what's your name? Who are you? Oh, you're a fan. What did you say? Oh, you didn't like what I had to say. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Yeah. So I just found that so uniquely like cool and you, and I'm going to love to see how that grows, especially like, bro, when you see the opportunities for you to walk out, you're going to have so much time to express yourself the more fights you get.
Actually, the 2 shirts that I wore on my last fight, it was shirts that me and my homie like had designed. So my first fight, I walked out to a shirt that we designed. And when I walked out my second fight, we walked out to another shirt that we had made.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah. So I want to keep that cycle going for sure.
That's what's up. You know, you mentioned all the support you had. When I walked out, I didn't know if you were still around, because we had touched base in the cage and I liked your vibe. And then I saw you out amongst people and you had so many people coming up to you that I didn't want to interrupt you. I was like, oh, maybe I should just text him and like say what's up later and say like, let's set up this interview. But I just know name to face is so much easier, just to be able to be like, hey bud, just want to pay your respects, say congrats, I'd love to do an interview. And you were just like, let's fucking do it. Done. But I saw so many people in a like receiving line. It was almost like you got married. Like that's how many people were coming up and being like, hey man, congratulations. And I go, I don't want to take up these people's time. I just want to say what's up and I'm out. And, you know, from there, it was really cool. And I got a good sense of what you're like. But yeah, dude, you rolled pretty deep on that day.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Thousand Oaks is only like a 25-minute drive from like Oxnard, you know? So I'm just blessed that I have all those people coming out, showing love, like all my friends, family, like my friends brought their friends, you know what I mean? So it was just super cool to see everybody there. And like, I'm just grateful for it, honestly. Like it felt so cool just going out there and then knowing like I said, like when you go into that cage, like nothing, your mind's blank. All you hear is your coaches.
Yeah.
Coaches and paying attention to your fights. So, but after the fact, when I went out there and I seen everybody, like it made my heart full, you know? For sure.
For sure. And I mean, listen, dude, it's one of those things where you want the fight to end a certain way and you want it to be a cool thing. You want to be to be celebratory. and it was a perfect celebratory thing. So I definitely enjoyed that. What I did notice though was on a couple of these photos that you have on your Instagram, you also had some like random people that you've run into. So was that Gilbert Mendez that you ran into at some point?
Yeah,
when you
bro.
were training? How did that happen?
My coach Bobby used to train with Gilbert Mendez back in the day. He would train with Nate and Nick too. So they would. I forgot where they're at. Like up in Sacramento, maybe up north, somewhere up north, right? And they would train a lot back in the day. And Bobby kept telling me, he was like, "Bro, Gilbert's gonna come in." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I go into the gym. He's not here. I'm like, "What the fuck, Bobby?" And then I see a big ass truck pass by, and it's him. I'm like, "Bro, he's pulling up, bro." And then we ended up training, having a cool sesh. At that time, my homie was getting ready for a fight, so it was like a perfect, cool little experience for him too, because Gilbert was giving my boys so many tips. And we just had a bomb, like super good training session. Like everybody was just trying to not hurt each other, but like, you know what I mean? Like look good, look good, you know what I mean? And it was a blessing that he came and showed us everything. It was cool little talk. Super cool person too, bro. Like super like, you know what I mean? He's super cool.
That's pretty dope. Okay. There's a lot to just uncover here, but part of the extra reason why I felt like interviewing you would be worth it, I scroll through some of these photos, and what's great about you on your carousel on each of the, like, you put up multiple photos or videos all in one post. And like, there's so many little funny things that you put in there that showed me, again, part of your personality. So there's like a cartoon on half of them. Yeah. You put in like something that I go, oh, he's got a good sense of humor. So we'll get along on that. And like one of them that like really kind of rang out to me is I would just see you putting up some of these cartoon characters that I don't even recognize, but like who and what are these people? And then at the same point, there's one that you put up that had me dying because I was staring at it and I could tell you were getting ready for a fight and that you were kind of locking in a certain mentality. Yeah. But there's one of you put with a hat of Khabib in the foreground. So are you trying to tell us that for that fight you were channeling being vaguely Russian or of a foreign descent and being like, no, brother, today I wrestle very hard, brother. We go very hard.
So you know homies are always gonna be homies, right?
For sure.
But so the homies are always gonna talk shit.
Okay.
My opponent got some takedowns on me, right? My last fight. And they were like, fool, you gotta work on your wrestling. You suck. Your wrestling sucks. I'm like, all right. I'm like, mental note. I go back to Bobby's, right? I go back to the gym. Yeah. Working on my wrestling. Trying to sharpen everything up. And then I finally convinced one of my other homies to come through to the gym. And when he comes in, he sees my wrestling. He's like, oh shit, you got better from the last fight. So he uses ChatGPT and he just made that, that Khabib meme.
Legitimately the silliest shit. Because I like, when I look at this stuff, I take it with a good grain of sense of humor where I go, I don't know you. Yeah. But as I'm starting to learn more about you and I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask him about this or this or this. And I just see that like little Russian hat and I go, who and what? And like, it feels like there's always at least a worthy exploration of it. But this is on top of CDs that you're putting, which by the way, dope. These are ones that I kind of sign off on.
I grew up on.
That's what you should have been growing up. The most relatable one, though, that you did put up was you on a cycle bike. Yeah. Like, brother, you don't have to put up that shit. But you dying on this bike was legitimately me looking at it and going like, oh, dude, been there. And I don't even fight. But just that look on your face. So why did you put that up? To catalog that memory so that you know what you sacrificed?
Honestly, yeah, like it goes back to like people think, I mean, like you don't train for I mean, obviously they know you train for a fight, but they don't know like what type of work you put in, what type of mentality you have to put yourself in. So I put that out there just to like express just like, okay, like I could be cool, funny, here's like a little outfit, but I'm fucking also dying in between all of this, you know? Yeah. Plus like my friend took that video of me without me even noting. So he sent it to me. I'm like, hey, bro, like, I kind of want to keep this video, but I don't want to keep it on my camera. I have no storage. So I posted it just to delete it. Honestly.
I laughed at it because I actually said to one of my friends, I was like, that is the most relatable when my S&C guy sends me a like, hey, why don't you do cardio and do this? And I go, I don't want to do any of this shit, bro. Like,
right?
No.
Sucks.
My man, seem not friendly this week. Monday, I looked at my S&C program. I looked down. I go, okay, I can do that. I can do that. It's all kettlebells. The last 8 minutes were 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, straight kettlebells, just regular lift, right?
Worse than cardio. That's worse than running.
It's worse than running because I was like, after the first 3 minutes, I was like, oh, I've only done this for 3? Like, Tabatas are fine. Like, I can do a battle rope for a minute, but 8 minutes is you convincing yourself I have to be here and do this. And I was like, dude, I didn't even pick a hard weight. It's just by the time you get to minute 7, it feels way heavier. And I'm thinking like, I'm not fighting. I don't need this shit. Like, what are you doing to me? So, bro, I sent him the meanest text. He just goes like, hey, bro, how's it going? I was like, go fuck yourself. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't ask me. You don't get to talk to me right now. So my boy Asim, I love you, but I hate you at the same time. And I saw he reposted a whole bunch of people. He reshared their stories. That same day, I was not the only one. I saw other people who have a very similar program that they are doing with me. And I was like, I know exactly what their program is. Fuck you, Asim. And we all feel it, but we love you. Anyway, as we start to wind this down, sir, I think you answered the question. You did say you're going to be fighting next year. So what is the new motivation for you fighting? Because if it was to prove to yourself you were able to do it, I think you've answered that question. So what is the new journey going to be for you now that you've kind of shown you can get a win, you are worthy, you have the belief and the structure from your coaches that is in a good way leading you to very good results and may very well lead you to even better ones. But what is the purpose of competing now for you?
It's honestly just, I'm still trying to prove to myself that I'm worthy of fighting, becoming a champion, going pro one day, like the goal's not over. Like I could win my next 4 or 5 fights, but I want to be, it's cliche, but I want to be the best in the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like anybody does. So that's what keeps me motivated and driven is every person that you go against, they have the same goal. And it's kind of just like, I can't let that other person take my dream away from me.
Yeah.
I need to go out there and shatter his to make mine reality, And that's kind of something that just keeps me going. Like just keep proving to myself that I'm able to do this for as long as I can, become a champion. And then hopefully be able to pass down the knowledge that I learned throughout the years to like other people wanting to get into it or wanting to train.
That's what's up.
Yeah, look into the future a little bit.
Okay.
Not too much though, take day by day.
I mean, I think it's impressive. You have a very, very cool goal to try and do it multiple times next year. And you're healthy, you're in a good spot. You end this year on a good place. So that's awesome. It's always great when people end on a healthy note and you can get your goals dialed in for next year. So that's really dope. All right. Additional question. Why the cramps? Because that's your name on Instagram. And I don't have a good reason for why that name is. Why did you give yourself that name?
What do you think the reason is?
Do you have cramps a lot? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, I just cramped up.
I know, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I saw it happen here, but like, why? Just why?
I grew up listening to like a lot of rock growing up.
Okay.
A lot of rock, a lot of punk, a lot of 90s R&B, not 90s R&B, 90s hip hop.
Yep.
On R&B too.
Sure.
But a band was called The Cramps, and I just thought they had sick like posters or like album covers.
Okay.
I'm like, bro, yeah, that's gonna be my thing.
Okay.
But instead of the S is V.
Well, that was the other reason why, is I was like, I am vaguely familiar with them, but like, 1, not my band. 2, not quite spelled the exact same way. So then you kind of get like an infusion of, there are a lot of different cultures all in one. And what's wild to me is, despite being so much younger than me, you have these references and this appreciation for shit that I grew up on that I liked at the time.
Yeah.
So it's really wild to me. incredibly wild to me when you're like, oh, I grew up on Rage Against the Machine and this album. I was like, brother, I was there for that pressing. I was
gonna walk out to Rage.
Were you
but
really?
They didn't give me my walkout song. Nah,
No.
I was gonna walk out to Pistol Grip Pump.
Really?
I was gonna walk out to trying to get amped up, but like still trying to be like loose a little bit. You know what I mean?
Way.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? It is difficult to do walkout songs for a number of reasons. But I had on my run sheet what the songs were, and they didn't always have those songs. So I wasn't quite sure why that was. RFL, I love you, but like, can we get that figured out? But Regime Fighting League, I had a great time doing it. I enjoyed it. I'm probably going to see you back there, I'm sure. If not there, somewhere else in the local community. But I did have a moment where I was like, I don't think that's that song.
Oh, yeah.
I know that song. That's not that song. Unless it's a remix. I don't think so. So I after about the third fight, I just stopped looking at what song it's supposed to be. And I argue this. I felt like you were already loose enough that even though you channel like that's not the song, it didn't phase you. But if you had come in with that vibe and then been ready to go, and then they told you had to pause, could have worked out for the better. It just didn't feel the way, I'm sure. Because I'll be honest with you, the only reason I want to fight is to have a walkout. Like, I want to do a back in the day pride walkout, pride fighting walkout, literal choreography, kill it, crush it, look out of breath, make it to the ring and be like, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Tap. That dude won. Great job, man. And people will be like, well, you can't do that. I'm like, fuck, I can. I'm just getting paid to do a walkout. And look at that shit. That shit was impeccable. Precise. Because I don't do choreography that's not precise. I'm on my shit. So like, I'm hitting numbers, people. Especially if I was in like a Japan audience, they go nuts for that shit. But I think people would frown upon it here. So I'm not quite really interested in doing that. But let's do this, sir. Let's circle right now. That is your camera right there. What I would love for you to do, give a shout out to all the people who helped you get ready for this fight. Give a shout out to any sponsors you got. Like, the camera's all yours. Even though we had a few minutes to talk, like a couple seconds to talk in that cage, I'd love for you to just give shout outs to anybody you want to, sir. So that camera is all yours. Take it away.
Thank you. First of all, thank you, God, for everything that you put me through. All the challenges I set to keep me healthy in this camp. Give me the opportunity to meet Rafa. It was a blessing. Thank you, everybody got ready for my fight. Quick coaches, Zombie, Bobby, and Nick. Those are like my three main coaches that I train with a lot. They teach me everything I know. Shout out to all the other homies that pull up. Got me some good rounds in. Any sparring partner I went against this camp, getting me ready. Love you guys. I have no sponsors, man.
I got you. You know,
I need some sponsors.
Hold up. Let's get closer in like this. So we're going to look at this camera right here. So right in front of us. Okay. Yeah, I got you. All right. Hold on. I'm going to turn my hat backwards too. Well, why would you? No,
I saw you fixing yourself.
I know. I'm trying to meet where you're at in the middle. You don't go the opposite.
Because sideways?
Listen, what I'm trying to show them is like Bloods and Crips can get along. You know what I mean? So give me a second here to tell the people why this is working. All right. So turn it around. I'll turn around. I want to make sure that people know that East Coast, West Coast don't have a rivalry going on. All right. Even though this is a fucking sellout, I want to make sure you're from fucking California and you're wearing this hat. Is it just because it's style?
From Oxnard, man. From Oxnard.
What do you mean Oxnard? Oxnard's in California.
I don't watch baseball.
I know you don't. That's why I'm not super mad at you. But I did tell him, I was going a little bit harder on him because it is October right now. So I don't care when you're watching this, but playoff season and the Dodgers are playing, I'm like,
I'll go to a Dodger game.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll go.
But you're not wearing the hat.
No, Are you kidding me? Bro, no.
I was like, bro, I'm not letting all those Mexicans beat you up there, dude. That's not what I want.
I'm full guard.
You know what the sad part is? There's a lot of Mexicans now that are training, so I don't know if that'll even work right now. I think somebody might be like, yo, I got footlocks too, fam.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, here's what I'm going to tell you about this. Danny is one of those performers that gives you the bang for your buck. You can see why he was not only getting a great submission finish at RFL, but he's going to be a standout performer in the future. This is a man who doesn't take losses lightly. This is a dude who comes back hungrier, readier, and goes out there and puts in the work because he said, you know what? I didn't earn it. Now I've earned it. He's got a great team behind him. This man said he wants to fight 6 times next year. Do you understand? Most people fight 2 times, 3 times at most. But this dude's trying to go out there like he's got a championship on his shoulder because he wants to give you the best bang for your buck. So why would you not sponsor this dude right now? Additionally, he's got style. So he's going to be able to be a creative partner with you and say like, hey, I really fucks with this. And if somebody who's creative and knows their own personality well enough wants to work with you, it's a great opportunity for your brand and his brand to work together so that you guys can combine forces for hella good fights, really good causes, and to take care of my man as he ventures into a professional journey as a fighter. Because right now on the come up, he's got momentum. He's got a hell of a finish. And I think you're going to want to be there when this dude becomes what he wants to do, what he was destined to do, and what his family has been setting him up for day one to get ready to do. So if you don't want to pay for this man's future to become a professional athlete, then you truly aren't helping people achieve their dreams. So help this man get to the next level, and let's get him some fucking sponsors, because right now this dude is busting his ass at other jobs when all he wants to do is knock people out for your entertainment. So let's help him do that, because I don't know about you, but my man said, I guess I'm a jiu-jitsu guy now. It works. But what happens when my man knocks out his next opponent? That's a question that you'll find out even better if you are sponsoring him. What do you think?
Yeah, perfect.
Oh man, I got that.
Perfect. I wish I could talk like that. I mean, thank you, brother, man.
Hey, dude, I can't knock people out. So this is the gift. So this is what it is. Danny, I'm looking forward to your next fight, man. I hope you enjoy the time off with your holidays and your friends and your family. You had an incredible finish, but like I said, what really impressed me more than anything else was the way you carried yourself, the sincerity of when we were talking and you were like, bro, I would love to. I'd be honored. And I said, hey, man, I know it's crazy. We're going to work late one night. We're going to roll after I teach class here, and then we'll have an interview. And you have been an utmost professional, even though you're just starting on your journey on this. So I wish you well, and I'm looking forward to see you on the come up, man.
Thank you, brother, man. Means a lot.
All right, let me close up this bitch real quick. All right, back to you. Right over here. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Grappling Hour. I hope you like this one. It's all right. But I want to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. They can't see that, dude. Let me just put it back. Don't do your thing. Okay, what is that? What are we telling the people?
I guess I'm all right.
Oh, all right. My man just literally just throwing up shit like, bro, this is what happens when Nate Diaz doesn't know what to do. He's just in the background being like, we just throwing up shit right now? Is that what we're doing?
Top 5 fair fighters.
Well, he better be a top 5. You're going to be a bitch if you don't put him in there. So anyway, what I'm telling you guys is like, comment, and subscribe on this video. If you don't know what you want to comment on, I'm going to give you a topic right now. What is something that your parents did, be it jiu-jitsu, be it MMA, whatever it is they grew up, that they told you that you should have done earlier, that you wish you would have done earlier? We heard from him, his wrestling would have been good, maybe enough to beat me if he had started working his wrestling in high school. Like today, it's just been like, if you made it this far into the video, you should know I did pin this dude a couple times. I'm like, bro, his dad was right. If he had started then, maybe he would have been able to beat up the oldest dude he currently trains with. But it just didn't happen today. Maybe in the future, who knows? But I'm going to tell you guys this. If you could do us a solid, like, comment, subscribe, goes a long way on the show. And be sure to share it if you really did enjoy this. I really do appreciate it. Also, head on over to rafesparza.com/merch. Get you some Grappling Hour t-shirts, a hoodie. It keeps you warm when you go compete. Or sometimes, friends, it can keep you warm if they make you wait in between fights. Like we found out this time, they threw a hoodie at him. If I had a hoodie on hand, I probably would have thrown it at him. It would have been good promotion. It would have been good promotion. The problem is I would have seemed like I was favoring you other than your opponent. So glad I didn't do that. But like, no disrespect, sir. It's just, my man won. So we gotta play nice to him. And he did come here. So I have to say, 2 votes in his favor there. So head on over rafesparza.com/merch. You can also head on over to patreon.com/grappling hour. See these interviews 30 days before anybody else. And for a few extra dollars, extra bonus content not available anywhere else. And finally, everybody, if you enjoy the discussions we have here on the show, you can head to our Discord, and that is at Grappling Hour as well. All right, ladies and gents, that's going to do it for us here at the show. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And just remember, it's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.
So.